Sweet 16. Vince, we're back.
Yeah.
Another 5 questions. Episode 16 of The Clinical Dose. Let's get straight into it.
Let's do it.
Question 1.
What do you find the best way to stay on top of business and life? A planner, phone app, those kind of things. From Zach Mills 23 on Instagram Q&A.
It's funny because you and I were having this discussion yesterday,
Yeah.
and you were like, I'm back studying. I've got to. You were, talking about how you're trying to prioritize and schedule more than anything.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So what are you using at the moment?
Pretty much, I bought myself a weekly planner, which I'll use, and I'll usually use that to write down important dates, times that I have to have things done by, and also the deadlines kind of thing.
Yep.
And then I usually write a list of things that I need to do, and I'll have that in a Apple Notes. So a note section on my phone, it's just a big list of everything, usually prioritized first of what I need to have done in order.
To-do list.
To-do list in there, which then comes through from my phone and computer interlinked together.
Yeah, all synced up.
Yeah, so I can see that however I want, and that's kind of how I stay on top of it. I've tried using other apps and stuff like that, and they just haven't worked for me. I just haven't gone into them, and it's just, too difficult. I just find that easier for me.
What I do, Zach, is I use a combination of different things. The first thing is I have my routines, which are just things that I do like automatically. I've been doing them so long, I do them automatically. I get up at the same time every day. I have my breakfast at the same time. I train at the same time. I have my meals at the same time, give or take, 30 minutes or an hour. I eat, the routines are really what kind of anchor business, life, fitness, all areas of my life are really kind of anchored on those routines. And then I have practices. So things that are not necessarily automatic, they're things that I have to work at in order to keep things on track, in order to keep me moving in the right direction for my business goals, moving in the right direction for my fitness goals, moving in the right direction for my personal life goals and every area of my life. And I'm the same as you, Vince. I've used a bunch of different shit over the years. I've used apps, I've used, different ways of writing calendars, I've used all sorts of shit. And what I'm doing at the moment, Zach, I'm actually working on something that I'm hoping I'll be able to share. I'm going to beta test on you guys.
Okay.
MassiveJoes.
I haven't heard about this yet.
So no. This is news to you.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that it's going to be something that, in a year or a couple of years or so, it'll kind of be beta tested and perfected, and I can roll it out as something to share with all of you guys. Because what I've really found the most effective, I've really stripped it back to what I'm calling my daily accountability calendar.
Yep.
And you've seen it. It's that little brown book that I carry around with me. And it's very simple. It has, each page is a week. And for each week, I have 8 major goals, which are across all areas of my life. So I might have business goals, personal goals, fitness goals, whatever they are. These are kind of like my headline goals that I'm trying to accomplish in a week.
Yep.
And then I have the days broken down, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend I group together. And then for each day, I have 5 things in there.
Okay. Yeah.
So and this is why I'm saying I'm still beta testing it at the moment, because at the moment it's 5 tasks that I must do.
Yeah.
So 5 important things that keep me on track to achieving those 8 headline goals. So it's kind of like I'm plotting goals. I have, obviously, you guys know I've done a bunch of content on it. I tend to set goals in 12-month blocks and then break them down into month and week. So then these kind of pages govern my week, and then I break it down into each and every day what I need to do to achieve those week goals. Every week I'm achieving the week goals, which keep me on track to achieving the month goals, which keep me on track to achieving the 12-month goals. So that's kind of how I do it. It sounds a bit complicated because at the moment it's still a work in progress, but I have found that's the best way. So if you're looking for practical advice right now, that's really the kind of goal setting advice that I can give is set your top line goals, break them down into months, break them down into weeks, and then break them down into days, and make sure each and every day you're getting done what you need to get done in every area of your life that you set goals for that keeps you on track to achieving them.
Yeah.
In combination with the routines.
Beautiful.
It's fucking hard, man.
It
really
very
is.
hard.
Unfortunately, I wish there was like a magic app or a magic method or whatever it is. But
I wish I just took it out of your brain and just put it onto paper so it's there.
I think it's something, especially ambitious people. I think, people that really are quite ambitious in different areas of their life really struggle with prioritization, scheduling, making sure you're getting done what you need to get done to stay on track.
Yeah.
And, you know, I often find myself in a fucking heap because I'm like, I have so much shit going on and I feel so overwhelmed. But that's why I've kind of fallen back to just this very basic 1 week per page, 5 things per day, 8 things per week, get them done.
I never used to do it, so I used to just rely on my to-do list and I'll just go through my head what I needed to be done, and then I found I was just forgetting things.
Well, the problem with to-do lists, and you know, I've experienced this with a lot of our kind of top-line managers in the MassiveJoes business who have kind of worked off to-do lists. The problem with to-do lists is they're very sporadic.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're continually changing as well. They're very fluid. So you're adding things on there. Well, where do you add them? To the bottom, to the top, in the middle. It can mess up your prioritization.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you really haven't spent the time and effort dedicated to the big top line tasks.
Yeah.
And you've been doing all this low hanging fruit and you've actually just kind of stood still because you haven't achieved anything, you haven't moved in any direction.
Yeah.
So to-do lists are very basic, but how you schedule and prioritize everything that you're trying to do is much more important.
100%.
Next question.
How do you manage hunger when you're in a calorie deficit? From Bianca_Clack from Instagram Q&A as well.
Yeah, good question. I think first and foremost, Bianca is right on point, is hunger is something you're going to experience in caloric deficit.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that the question is how do you manage hunger, not how do you get rid of hunger?
Yeah, definitely.
Because, you know, the longer you spend in caloric deficit, the deeper you go into caloric deficit, you are restricting the calories that your body needs to perform the outputs that you're asking your body to perform. So hunger is a side effect of that. It's going to be there.
Yeah.
How do you manage it?
Oh, well, I've been in a calorie deficit in a while, so that's the best way to manage it. But no, in a calorie deficit, usually staying very well hydrated.
Yeah,
I find that the more water I drink can quite often just take your mind off the thought of food.
Yeah.
And hunger, just staying well hydrated. Similar to you, I to chew gum as well.
Yep. Another big one.
They're probably 2 for me, and I keep busy. They're probably, for me, the top 3 things that stop me kind of thinking about hunger and food and eating.
Man, I'm exactly the same, Vince. I'll just add to that as well, you know, a cool kind of short-term hack is to look at the foods that you're eating. And if you're eating calorically dense foods, which means to get a certain amount of calories or macronutrients, the volume of food is not very big. Let's say, for example, you're getting your fats from oil, for example, or your protein from protein powder, or your carbs from honey, right? Look at food sources that are calorically sparse. So you're able to eat a much bigger volume of food to get the same amount of calories or the same amount of protein. So you might swap oil as a fat source up for avocado. You might swap protein powder as a protein source up for chicken breast. You might swap honey as a carbohydrate source out for potato. You know, something where you're able to eat a much bigger volume of food and therefore fill your stomach up and make you feel a little bit more satiated and less hungry from eating the same amount of calories and macros.
Definitely. Probably the other thing that I would add is if you're not kind of dieting for a particular show or anything like that, the timing of your meals when you are eating kind of more meals to when you are hungry. There might be periods when you're not hungry throughout the day. And you can probably kind of cut some food from there and take it into parts where you are hungry or some calories from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
next question.
If it was your last workout ever, what are you hitting and what supps are you using? From Evan.Fairweather from Instagram Q&A.
I'm hitting everything and I'm using everything.
Yeah, that's 100% agree. I don't think if it's my last workout, I'm probably not going to stop working out.
Ah, Evan, what a horrible question. Who thinks of this shit? This is
torture.
This is bad. This is like some Quentin Tarantino shit from my fucking fitness journey. All right, last workout ever. What am I hitting? If we're going to pick one muscle group, I'm probably going to hit legs because I always it's the most satisfying feeling after you crush the shit out of legs.
I was going to say the exact same thing, probably because it's my longest workout as well.
Yeah, you get more out of it.
Yeah.
What supps are you using?
I don't think the list ends. If I haven't taken it, I'm taking it. I'm using everything I can.
Everything. I put together the biggest fuck-off pre-workout stack I've ever had.
Yeah.
I used 4 different types of BCAAs and a bunch of carb supplements.
Yeah, I would.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I would use
the last workout ever, right? I'm never going to use supps. At least I'm not going to work pre-workout, intra-workout supps if I'm not working out.
Exactly. So yeah, I would use everything.
Horrible question. Not good. Next question, Vince.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you see supplement companies make in regards to their products? From Jon Riggs from YouTube.
And John's given some examples here. Incorporations of ingredients that don't need to be in there, not knowing who the product is for, how to market. How do you want to answer this? Because we could go deep into, the way that John's kind of framed this question, the mistakes that sub companies make in regards to products, is probably a little bit different than if we're answering the question, what are the biggest mistakes we see supplement companies make in general?
Yeah, I would go in regards to their product. So kind of supplement companies bringing out their product, new pre-workout for say, what's the biggest mistake they make in terms of bringing out that pre-workout?
Yeah, okay.
Instead of delving into the whole company in general and how they might market everything or might see themselves.
I think probably the biggest mistake that is probably consistent across most supplement companies is there's no real plan around the marketing of a product. It's kind of like, we're going to drop a new product. We're not really going to tell anyone about it until it's pretty much launched, maybe a few days before. We might send it over to our good friends at Stack 3D and get them to write an article on it. Maybe do a video on it and boom, it's live, go get it. Like there's no... You think about like how Apple released a new iPhone.
There's a lot of marketing beforehand. You know it's coming out before it's out.
You know it's coming out. You know it's there. There's lines of people waiting to get the shit because there's actual proper marketing. You know what the new features are. You know why you need to have it. And I just think a lot of supplement companies, even the sub companies off the top of my head, I don't want to name names, but who are exceptionally good at branding and marketing for the most part, still miss the mark when it comes to new products. And we've seen it, like some of those, you know who I'm talking about. Some of those companies were like, oh shit, they've just dropped a new product or a new flavor of a product. And, and it's just rolled up in the warehouse and we didn't even know it was coming.
Find out from someone's Instagram story, like in stock now, it's like, when was that coming? And it was something like this, it's like,
so I think that's probably, when it comes to products in general where, the most consistent mistake.
And going kind of away from the marketing would be, for me, probably seeing no synergism. It's to say it was a pre-workout. Pre-workouts that make absolutely no sense on paper. And in their effects that they're trying, like what are they trying to use their pre-workout for? Could just be loaded with caffeine, just a high stim, or just there's no thought behind their pre-workout. Or if it's a bigger line, there's no thought in terms of the synergism of using more than one of their product. They're trying to just sell you one, but they haven't still thought about how it can be used in conjunction with everything else.
How it fits into the product range. Last question, Vince.
How much of an impact does not hitting your macros or calorie intake goals have if you miss the mark 1 to 2 days a week, whether you're cutting or bulking? From Anthony Mohammed on YouTube.
Anthony, it makes 100% of the difference. You could do the math, so you can go, well, 1 out of 7 or 2 out of 7 is 12% or 20, almost 25%. But the truth is, if you're not consistent, and this is the problem. If you're not consistent with your macros and your caloric intake 1 day a week or 2 days a week, that then sets the standard that, if I mess up 3 days a week, it doesn't, and then 4 days a week, not that big deal. And before you know it, you just don't give a fuck about your macros or your caloric intake. So missing any number of days per week when it comes to your macro intake and your caloric intake should not be acceptable to you because it has that flow-on effect of, it's a very slippery slope. Once you start going 1 day a week doesn't matter, 2 days a week doesn't matter. Where does it stop?
I 100% agree. I think, you really have to be hitting, especially if you're cutting, I mean, bulking as well. And like you said, it does set the routine. But a lot of people will start their cut, they're fine for the first week, next minute they start to slip up, 1 day a week, next minute it's 2 days, no longer making progress, they're staying where they were. They don't know why, but it's because you're stuffing up. They think those kind of calorie days where they're not counting are fine. They might be eating less, they might be eating more one day. But usually if they're eating more, they're eating thousands of calories more. 100%. Which is stuffing up all their progress for that whole week, if not longer.
And the same with bulking, like I see a lot of guys that struggle to put on weight. And it's like, well, how much are you eating? It's like, well, Monday to Friday I'm really good. And then the weekends I, go out and party, and then I'm hungover and I don't really eat because I feel sick. And I'm like, well, fucking
what do you expect?
Pretty obvious what's going on here. Like, this is why you can't put on weight. This is why you can't build muscle, because you're throwing away a couple of days a week.
Yeah, 100%.
So, it makes all the impacts. And just on that point, Anthony, if you're finding it difficult 1 or 2 days a week, and let's be honest, for most people it's the weekend, right? Most people, Monday to Friday, their weeks are set up, their routines are set up, they can just hit shit, do it mindlessly, they're busy enough that they don't really give it much thought. Get to Saturday, Sunday, out of routine, shit's all over the place, and that's where you either don't, you're too low if you're trying to bulk, or you're too high if you're trying to cut. You gotta find what fits your lifestyle. You gotta find the dieting method, the training regime, the cardio regime, all the different aspects of your fitness journey and whatever goal you're trying to achieve. You have to find the ones that fit your lifestyle. And if your lifestyle is your weekends are all over the place, you need to find something that you can incorporate into your weekends that is not abrasive to the sort of lifestyle you want to live. This is the biggest mistake that people make, is they're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and when things get out of whack, they just lose their fucking minds. And the people who are most successful on their fitness journey, whatever their goals may be, are the people who are the most consistent for the longest period of time. And the only way you can be the most consistent for the longest period of time is to find the different regimes that fit your lifestyle.
Definitely.
That's a wrap.
That's it.
Vince, got anything else you want to add?
No.
Before I tell the viewers to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you don't miss a beat when it comes to all these new episodes of Clinical Dose and everything else we got going on the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Until next time, where we're coming to and from, Vince.
MassiveJoes.com.
Stay massive. Thank you for tuning in to this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.